But supply chain expenses can be expensive. And on certain items, when shipping costs are high, it may not make sense to ship that thing online. It may make sense to make that buy online, pick up in store only, or only sell it in stores. And so we provide visibility into that level of detail from a financial perspective as well.
Hi, folks. I'm Daniel Myers, Developer Relations here at Snowflake. On today's episode of Powered By, I'm talking with James Sutton, co-founder and CTO of Elevate, a retail operations platform for data insights built on Snowflake. James, how are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you here today. So to kick this off, can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and kind of why did you start this company?
Yeah, so my name is James. I've been working in retail and supply chain for up to 10 years now. More on the client side. I've been working for retailers or for manufacturers, trying to use data to make better decisions. And really over this past couple of years, really the past decade since I've been working in the industry, omnichannel has really changed the game. Customers expect things fast. They expect things on time. They expect their orders not to be canceled. And really, there's just a lot of systems and processes that are required in order to enable that experience. And so for retailers specifically, you have to get the goods into your warehouse. You have to process things. You have a system for that. You have an order management system that handles orders and puts things into stores for in-store pickup. And there's ERP systems for financial reconciliation. And as employees of those retailers, all that data is really not brought together in a way to make actionable decisions and understand your performance and understand really your exceptions, because that's what you're trying to manage to. And so about a year ago, me and a couple co-founders also working in this space started Elevate. And really what we've been developing since then is what we wish we had when we were on the client side, is an analytics as a service offering to have all the insights that we need and we think our customers need in order to make the right decisions and get products to their customers on time and not cancel it. So excited to talk to you more about Elevate today and what our offering is and why Snowflake is such a big part of it.
That is exciting. So tell me a little bit more about the solution that you're building and a little bit on how Snowflake kind of fits into it.
Yeah, for sure. Our analytics platform is a combination of really an end-to-end service for our customers. There's a lot of great data applications out there, and most of them are focusing on marketing efforts and acquiring new customers and enabling a great digital experience. But many of them are not focusing on supply chain. And so the whole supply chain industry is kind of lagging in this space, and they still live off of weekly Excel-based reports or static reports that give you maybe the summary details you need, but you can't really drill into the details as to exactly what order and what time or what package is an exception. And so we've been building this Elevate analytics platform to answer those questions. And so what you're looking at on this slide is Snowflake sits right in the middle of that. You leverage Snowflake for all of our data storage from a data lake and then transform that data into Elevate data models that has everything about a particular order or shipment or transaction that you may need to know. And then we expose that through kind of our front end BI interface. So Elevate as an offering is a combination of all the integration from all these different systems that I had talked about previously, getting all that data into Snowflake, transforming those many, many tables into something that's actually digestible and usable, and then pre-built business logic to enable retail leaders with the insights they need in order to run a successful warehouse or run a successful BOPIS program or track their packages on delivery to customer. So we handle this both from a technical approach, but also we act as consultants and meet with our customers regularly. Since we have all their data and we come from that industry, we meet with our customers to give them the information they need and make recommendations as to the things that they should be looking at in order to better their experience.
That's great. That's great. I mean, it seems like a pretty powerful platform that you're building out on top of Snowflake here. Can you tell me a little bit about, the history of the company? What's the status of it today? How many employees do you have, and what's the funding status?
We are definitely doing a different startup path than I think a lot of people do. So we've chosen to be self-funded at this point. And that we're fortunate that this is kind of our second or third career opportunity. So we're fortunate to be able to do that. We currently have 7 employees working on the platform, but we are growing exponentially. So if any of you are interested in coming on as a data engineer, reach out to us. We have a good amount of clients, both in warehouse operations and omni-channel. And we're growing both as far as our breadth that we want to provide analytics for, but also our depth as far as the different systems that we support. So we really feel like this company is going to grow exponentially, especially as a lot of these operational systems move to the cloud, and the integrations become more seamless and the schemas become more standardized. It's a lot easier for some of these analytical solutions to sit on top of them and have pre-built insights compared to historical legacy applications. A warehouse management system between customer 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to be very different from each other. So it takes a little bit longer to integrate and build this out.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think that as a lot of these other platforms and solutions move to the cloud, I think a analytics platform like the one that you're building will be, even more and more important. So I guess from here, let's see a demo of it.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. So I'm going to start with delivery performance. And so delivery performance is key to my heart as a customer, because I track things on my phone, and with push notifications, exactly when things are supposed to get there. If you told me 5 days, I want it in 3 days. But if you don't deliver in 5 days, I'm calling customer service. I'm seeing where my stuff is, right? And what we realized is that a lot of customers don't measure that internally. So they use solutions like Narvar or other competitors after ship to communicate with customers, and the customers know what's going on with the package, but internally they may not know, the 20,000 packages they shipped last week, how many of those are delivering on time. And so what we do with Elevate is we compare what was promised to a customer to all the delivery events of what got delivered on time. And so what you're looking at here is an overview of that performance. So within this dummy data, 90% of my packages were delivered on time. I can see exactly where in the country I'm performing or not performing. Our customers are leveraging this information to really diversify their carrier network. So if they're not performing well in certain areas, maybe they need to choose a different carrier that delivers faster there. Or maybe they need to open up a new fulfillment center or leverage their stores differently. Just really understanding the geographics of your performance can really start some good conversations about what your supply chain should look like. But this goes into a lot of detail. So one of the things that we find pretty quickly is that when you have more aggressive timelines, typically our retailers don't hit them as often. And so if you go on the website and you order next day air and you want it delivered tomorrow, that's a really tight time window that a retailer has to achieve to get that package to you on time. They've got to pick, pack, ship it in 3 hours to get it into UPS's network, and then UPS needs to deliver it on time. And so we provide all that information as to how those handoffs are occurring, and not just the summary level information, but really drilling down into the details. And so this is where Snowflake and the cloud platform becomes really powerful, is because everything is built at a granular level. It's not just your summary information. I know exactly what carton didn't get delivered on time. I know all the timestamps throughout the journey of when it got ordered, when it got allocated, when it got shipped, when it got origin scanned, when it got delivered, right? We can identify why things are late. And then if we have gaps in our processes, we're not shipping things on time in order to meet these SLAs, then we can go and work with our operations teams to solve those. So this is more of an omni-channel use case. Also within omni-channel, we look at things in terms of financial performance as well. So you want to deliver on time, but you also want to make money on what you're selling, right? And most retailers measure gross margin, which is just your revenue minus your cost of goods sold. But supply chain expenses can be expensive. And on certain items, when shipping costs are high, it may not make sense to ship that thing online. It may make sense to make that buy online, pick up in store only, or only sell it in stores. And so we provide visibility into that level of detail from a financial perspective as well. And the example I like to use in this kind of dummy data is, I've got this item number 4 here that I made gross margin on. I made $1,400, but after my shipping costs were taken out and my supplies costs and my labor costs for filling those goods, I lost 14.9%. So just having visibility to this level of data through the Elevate data model powered by Snowflake, and then through Elevate, we're enabling operational leaders to be more profitable, manage the operation, and understand exceptions so that they can really perform better. We also have a lot of other content in the warehouse operations space that I can jump to, but do you have any questions about what I've shown so far?
I mean, this is awesome. I love how actionable this information is and how easily digestible by the person viewing it. Right? It's pretty cool to see. As you were building out this platform, especially as the CTO, like what was some of the considerations that you had regarding the tech stack, right, that you have for this solution, and how did you decide to use and leverage Snowflake as part of your platform?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Since we've been founded this a little over a year ago, and as a startup, we really had like the whole data landscape like to choose from, and that's great, right? Like working for an organization, there's a whole like RFP process, and you have to get all these approvals, and it can be pretty lengthy. But when you start your own company and you're paying the bills, you can go and pick whatever you want. And so that's been kind of fun is really being able to try and leverage kind of all the different technologies that are out there and figure out what is right for Elevate. And some of the things we really liked about Snowflake and why we continue to leverage Snowflake as our core data store is it's really easy to integrate data with Snowflake. And since we're combining data from multiple different systems, we have to use many different integration patterns in order to get it in there, whether it's Python through DAGs and using SDK, or using cloud storage and leveraging Snowpipe, which has been great, or leveraging a managed service like Stitch or Fivetran or Airbyte. I mean, that all of these different options to get data in Snowflake, they just work, and so our speed to value of getting data from all the different applications we're trying to and into our data model has been really a key benefit for us. The second thing that people talk about all the time is like the difference between compute and storage, and separating that out has been really beneficial for us. I mean, both from a security standpoint, we can set up databases that are isolated and have object level security so that all of our customers' data lives in isolation, but then separating out compute so that we can have the right compute instances and the right size based off of the jobs that we're doing within Elevate has been really beneficial for us. So, I mean, I think that for most companies within data, there's a lot of great options, and none of them are really wrong, but Snowflake was really just the easiest, and it just works, and it continues to work, and there's not really a lot of reasons why not to leverage it right now.
Well, I love to hear it when people say that it's easy and it just works. That is music to my ears. So, with that said, it seems like the number of integrations that you have would still be like that. That is still a challenge just to work with all of these different systems and get that data, right? Talk to me a little bit about some of those integrations that you've done. How has the idea of semi-structured data, alongside structured data in Snowflake, how has that impacted some of the integrations that you built, right? Do any of the integrations today, for example, leverage JSON or any others of these semi-structured formats?
Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, we're getting data in many different formats to get into this state. A lot of the operational systems that we're hitting, whether it's order management systems or warehouse management systems, are not semi-structured. It's very columnar based, and so that is just like very straightforward about getting into Snowflake. I think semi-structured data, for example, all the delivery data that we get, we leverage EasyPost. We have a partnership with them to get all the transactional events about like after a company ships an item, what happens throughout each step of that journey, and all of that lives in a semi-structured schema. And pulling that into Snowflake is really easy because it just handles it so naturally. But we get everything into like really a uniform data set, transform data set into our data model within Snowflake, and those Elevate data models is kind of the final product that we sit these type of insights on top of. And I think that's a ton of the value, right? Is that one, it's hard to go and build integrations with all these different systems. But then even if you have all the systems, what do the 30, 40, 50 tables mean? And what are the relationships between shipments and orders and LPNs? Like, what does all that mean? And I think that that's where we're trying to be that differentiator in the market, is that we have experience with those systems, both on a technology side. And so we go and build those connectors into an IBM product or a Manhattan product, and now we have that answer of what we're looking for as to how to bring it into our data model through Snowflake and through the front end insights that are more actionable. Because these operational systems are great and they serve their purpose, but they're not really reporting systems. You may be able to get summary reporting out of them through some tool that they have. You can go and get details, like I can look at a particular order, but I can't see like great summary level reporting and then drill into details to take action. And even if I could, really all the actions are like between systems. Like, what does my warehouse management system say compared to my order management system or my parcel carrier that's delivering it? Like, really connecting those dots is where Elevate and Snowflake really thrive, because we pull everything all together so that it's more actionable.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what's next for Elevate, right? Over the next six months to 3 years, what's on the horizon?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're actively growing our team so we can support more customers and support more growth. We want to both grow deep first and then kind of wide. So we want to support more customers that are leveraging common systems in this space. And we want to get both within omnichannel and warehouse operations. And so we already have connectors built for some of the more common applications that we see are being utilized in this space, but we want to continue to support more and get all of those kind of into our data model so that this can be leveraged across customers. I think that like the hot word in the industry and all these companies that are getting funded are all about applying machine learning and applying artificial intelligence on top of products like this. And I think at some point we'll get there, but my personal opinion is that, you have to know what you're looking at. You have to be able to measure your performance first, and then you can start kind of using that technology to get better. And so we're trying to solve the visibility problem, which is pretty big in the supply chain industry. We're going to solve visibility first, and then talk to me again in 1 or 2 years, and maybe we'll talk about machine learning. But we just want to make this data and make these insights actionable and in the right business users' hands that can actually track down this order, contact the customer and apologize for a bad experience if they missed a Mother's Day cutoff or missed a Christmas delivery, and then go and make the right operational decisions to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Makes sense. And so if one of our viewers today wants to get in touch with you or with Elevate to learn more, where should they go?
Yeah, so our website is elevate.dev. We have a contact pattern on there. We also have a LinkedIn page you can follow us on. But we're looking forward for anyone to reach out. We're happy to talk about what we've built. If this is a great option for you, if you're a data engineer, you like this space, reach out to me. We're looking for good talent. Also reach out if you just have any retail or supply chain questions. We also do a lot of consulting in this space with large retailers, and happy to help on a strategic basis if we can.
Well, that's awesome. And as we wrap up today, for our viewers, my name is Daniel Myers, Developer Relations here at Snowflake. And if you're looking to build your business or application on Snowflake, check out developers.snowflake.com. With that, I'll see you next time. Thanks.